Hey guys, how's it going? This is Autobot JCB here again for a brand new How to Transform video. In today's video, we're going to keep on going with Transformer Cybertron because today I'm going to be showing you how to transform the 2005 Transformer Cybertron Optimus Prime. Now, as you guys can see here, Optimus Prime's vehicle mode is that of a heavily modified, futuristic, alien-esque fire truck. Personally, I don't think we even have fire trucks that look remotely similar to this. Honestly, I don't really care if it's modeled after one or not. It's an awesome design. I love it. If you look right here, you'll see that Optimus, just like with all the other Cybertron figures, Optimus comes with his own unique Cyberplanet key. And what I especially like about this one is if you look very closely, you guys will notice that it actually resembles the Matrix of Leadership. Now, I have heard that there are actually gold versions of this key where these handles on the outside are actually painted gold. I would actually love to get my hands on that particular version of this key because I think it would complement this figure better than just a plain unpainted blue one. Now, if you turn the Cyber key over, you'll see that once again we have another Cyberplanet key code, and I don't know if that's I or L, but for now I'm just saying it's L8P3. And just like with all the other Cybertron figures, what you could do is you could take that code over to the Transformers page or Transformers website. You type that in, and it would give you information and strength stats for each character that was in their system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over some details that Optimus has while he's in his vehicle mode, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to switch him into his jet mode, and then I'll show you how to turn him into his bot mode, his artillery mode, and then finally his super mode. So we got a lot to cover today. Let's get started. So first things first, I'm going to move the Cyber key off the side, and we're going to bring Optimus Prime in for a close-up. Like I was saying, Optimus appears to be some type of futuristic fire truck. I especially love that they gave him these two giant cannons mounted right on the top. Now, what I like about these is that they can actually raise up and down, and then they can spin. They can spin out a ways, and then they can move almost straight up and down, which I think is kind of cool. They have heavy-duty ratchet joints because these cannons are not light; they are actually pretty heavy-duty. And I especially like that both of them can actually go in and out on a swivel just like that. If you look right here, you'll see that this piece right here kind of wobbles. This actually comes off, and this will form Optimus Prime's sidearm right here. And what I'll be showing you that later on as we go. I'll just go ahead and put that back in right there for now. What I do love is that in addition to having these cannons, Optimus can actually use these cannons in either his vehicle mode, his artillery mode, or even his super mode. I suppose if you wanted to, you could use them while he's in his jet mode. But what I like is that if you take the Cyber key, and he has a Cyber key port here and a Cyber key port here, if you take the Cyber key and you plug it into this, it'll actually deploy these rocket launchers right here. And he has one on each side, so they actually just flip out just like that when you insert the key. And then he's got kind of a triple shot barrage right there. What I especially love is that all these missiles are actually all the exact same, so it doesn't matter which barrel you load them into. They will all fit in any barrel. So go ahead and disconnect that and put that back in. And then with this one, what we'll do is we'll raise it up a little bit, and then we'll insert the key. Now, unfortunately, the circuit board in my Optimus Prime does not work, so unfortunately, we won't get some lights and sounds. But what you would do is you get like this firing sound, and this light at the end of the cannon would flash red. But what we'll do is we'll go ahead and insert the key, and it'll actually deploy an ion cannon, proton cannon, neutron cannon. I don't know what it is, but it's a pretty big cannon. All right, so we'll go ahead and pull the key out, and that'll actually make that snap shut. And we'll set the key off to the side because we're going to be using that later. All right. So now for some details of Optimus while he's in his vehicle mode. All right, so I covered the cannons. If you look right down in here, you'll see that he's got two more cannons right here. Now these are typically just used for the leg cannons or their secondary guns for his artillery mode. I suppose if you wanted to give him a little more of make him a little more intimidating, you can rotate them down to the side, which would then open up this whole area for like storage or whatever. Typically in the instructions, it just shows them folded up like that, but it's entirely up to you what you want to do. Coming up to the front of the cab, you'll see that he's got this really neat transparent blue plastic right here for the windows, side windows, and then of course the emergency lights mounted on the top. You'll notice that he's got the Autobot symbol right here, and then I especially love this huge grill right here that they put on here. Coming down the wheels, just like with a lot of the other figures that I do in these videos, you'll see that they added the rim pattern and the tire tread right there, which I think is pretty cool. Coming over the side, if you look right here on this wing right here, if you look on the wing, you'll see that they actually added all the bolt patterns, and you can see the individual panels that look like they were welded on, bolted on, whatever. Coming over here, I'm not really sure what all this exposed circuitry or whatever it's all supposed to be. I still think, but I do love that actually does give it actually some character, which makes it pop more, so to speak. Coming around to the back, unfortunately, not really much to see. You got maybe some exhaust vents on the back. Coming over to the other side, virtually identical to the other side, just like that. And then finally coming back around to the front, you'll see that it's got the Autobot symbol right there, and then of course he's got another blue window right there on the top. All right, so there's Optimus in his vehicle mode. Now, before we transform Optimus into his bot mode, what I'm going to show you is his jet mode. And personally, this is kind of a weird thing because I don't think I've ever seen a flying fire truck except for like in movies, but it's still kind of a neat concept. This is actually pretty easy to do. What we're going to do is we're going to take this whole side right here and we're going to fold this out just like this and then rotate it to the side just like this and then flip out the cannon so it goes alongside of Optimus just like that. And we'll come around the other side. We'll flip this out. We will rotate it, and there's actually the ratchet joint is right here in this black hinge. Go ahead and rotate it, and then we'll go ahead and flip the cannon forward just like that. And there's Optimus in his jet mode. Yeah, kind of a weird feature, but hey, honestly, I thought it was kind of cool to see him fly like that in the show. But anyway, so there's jet mode. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and bring these back up. Bring the cannon back down. We'll fold them in. And flip that up. Put that back down. There we go. All right, there we go. We got him back in his fire truck mode. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the whole rear section of the fire truck off. In order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to raise these back up. There's actually a heavy-duty connector right in here. And one thing that helps me is if you lift up the back a bit and like hold underneath these cannons, tilt this forward, it will actually unpeg them. It'll actually unpeg the connectors from what will become the backpack for his super mode. If it helps, go ahead and open these. There we go. We got that whole section off just like that. And we'll just go ahead and close it up again. There we go. All right, there we got that whole section off. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come right here. We're going to take these parts right here. And then actually one other feature I wanted to show you is that if you look at these wheels right here, they don't look like, these are secondary wheels that are actually hidden by these ones. But if you look very carefully and you push on them, they have little springs in them to give them kind of like shocks, which I think is kind of cool. All right, so getting back on topic, what we're going to do is we're going to grab this whole section and we're going to dislodge that whole section from the back of Optimus Prime. All right, so we're going to go ahead and set him off to the side. What we're actually going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to reconnect it. You'll see that there's these two pins right in here, and they just peg right into those slots right there. And we'll go ahead and peg that back in, and then we have Optimus's trailer just sitting off to the side, just chilling for right now. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to transform Optimus into his bot mode. All right, so we've got Optimus with all the kibble all off of him, I guess. I don't know of a better word. All right, so now comes the fun part, because what we're going to do first is we're going to come right here. We're going to grab this whole section, and we're going to bring this all the way down straight just like this. We're going to come down here. There's a seam right in here. We're going to go ahead and pull it apart. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this section, we're going to move it sideways, flip it, and then flip it all the way around again. It's got kind of this weird, excuse me, it's got kind of this weird hinge in here. I'm not really sure exactly how to explain it, but it does actually kind of pull apart a little bit. You can see that there's that gap right there. it makes it a little bit easier to get these flipped around behind what will become his legs. And then these pieces right here will actually become his feet. So we'll go ahead and slide this, flip this, and flip it around again. And there we have Optimus's legs already set. Now, before we continue any farther, I actually want to show you something cool. Normally what you do is you hold this piece closed and then push this down. What we're going to do is we're actually going to flip this whole thing down. And if you guys notice, he has the Matrix of Leadership in his chest. And what I especially love is that you can actually remove it, just like what he does in the show when he uses when he uses Sentinel Prime to help him open space bridge gates, or warp gates, whatever you want to call them. All right, we'll go ahead and put that back in there because the leader of the Autobots is definitely going to need his greatest weapon right there. We'll go ahead and close that just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the side windows, we're going to bring them forward just like this, and connect them to form his chest. And now what we'll do is we'll come right here and we're going to take the front part of the truck. We're going to pull it apart just like this. Now we're going to bring it up halfway, because then what we're going to do is we're going to grab right here. We're going to move this piece up. We're going to bend this down, turn it, and then fold his arm forward, and then snap it into its housing just like that. All right. So we'll go ahead and bring this up, bring this down, turn it, give him his elbow, and click it in just like that. And there we have Optimus Prime's arms ready to go. And what I especially love is that he does actually have some fingers. His fingers do open up. Now, obviously, the only thing he's missing right now is his head. We'll go ahead and turn him around, and you'll see this tab right here. If you go ahead and push up on that tab, Optimus Prime's head will shoot up into position, and he is transformed and ready to go. I have to admit, compared to the Armada and the Energon version, this one is my favorite. Now, I will admit, I started with Transformers Armada clear back in, 2002? Transformers Cybertron came out in 2005, but I've always loved this particular design. But that's a story for another video. All right. So we have Optimus transformed and ready to go. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you his artillery mode. Because what we're going to do, actually, first thing I'm going to do is we're going to take this blaster off again, and we're going to go ahead and mount it in Optimus's hand, so you can see what it looks like. Now, in Optimus's hand, you'll see that there's a little pinhole right there, and there's a little gray pin right in here. This just kind of hugs right into there, pegs in, and then you can close his finger around it, and Optimus Prime is ready for combat. All right, Optimus, I'm going to need your blaster back from you. Thank you. All right, so now I'm going to show you artillery mode. So we're just going to set Optimus off to the side for right now, and we're going to bring the whole rear portion of his fire truck mode back in. First thing we're going to do, obviously, we're going to reconnect Optimus's sidearm onto that cannon. Now, this is actually really simple. What we're going to do is we're going to bring these up one click, or however many clicks you want. It really doesn't matter. And then what we'll do is we'll bring these out just like this, and then we'll flip these out just like this, which will actually give it a little bit of an angle right here. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and rotate these out, and they'll turn up just a little bit. And there we go. There's artillery mode. That's literally all there is to it, just like that. And then you can set Optimus behind it to make him look like he's ready to take on anything that comes his way. And then just like with his vehicle mode, if you need some extra firepower, you can plug in the cyber key, deploy some extra rockets, and fire away. All right, guys, and now the part you guys have been waiting for, because now I'm going to show you guys how to transform Optimus into his super mode. All right, so for right now, we're going to set Optimus off to the side again because we're just going to work with the trailer. What we're going to do first is we're going to fold up these cannons right here, and we're going to disconnect this whole section. We're going to take this whole section back off of the rear part of the truck. Sometimes it gets hung up in there. Come on. There we go. All right. So we've got that section pulled off. What we're going to do is we're going to take these and we're going to fold this side, fold that side out to the side, fold that out to the side, and then rotate it all the way down just like this. And then rotate out to the side, rotate it all the way down just like that. And then finally, pull it apart because these pieces are going to go on the backs of Optimus Prime's legs. So we've got those set and ready to go. We're just going to leave those off to the side. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come right over here. Now, these black pieces right here will actually fit over Optimus Prime's shoulders, so we need those in the front. What we're going to do is we're going to take these sections out, fold it out to the side just like this. We're going to spin them 180 degrees, which will move the tires up to the top, and then we'll flip these up behind the wings just like this. And I might have gone out of camera frame with that, so I apologize. I'll try to keep it in frame with the other one. So we got it flipped out to the side. We're going to rotate it all the way around and then flip up the cannon up behind it so it looks like this. And then we'll go ahead and open these because these are basically the backpack straps for Optimus. So we have the backpack looking like that. We have the leg pieces ready to go. Let's get into super mode. All right. So we're going to bring Optimus back in because now what we're going to do is we're going to get him all set. What we're going to do is we're going to take this this section right here. Ordinarily, you'd flip it around like this to become the back portion of his vehicle mode. What we're going to do is we're going to slide this back, flip this forward, and there's a connector port right here that this pin will fit onto. And we'll put that in just like that. And you'll see that his foot still sticks up. Go ahead and push his foot down into that groove right there. Go ahead and come over to the other side, do the same thing. Bring it out straight, flip it back, connect it, push his feet down just like that. Kind of give him some high heels. I'm going to have to go up a little bit with the camera. Just give me 1 second. There we go. All right, and then what we'll do is we'll take these pieces right here and we'll connect the connector pin here and this pin right here into this port and this port right here. And sometimes they can be very stubborn. There's one, and there's two. And we'll come around to the other side, do the exact same thing. There's one, and there's two. And we have Optimus Prime super legs ready to go. Now, before we put his backpack on, what we're going to do is we're going to turn him around, and you'll see that there's actually a switch on the back of his head. What we're going to do is if you take that switch and you flip it down, it will actually make his battle mask flip up. Now, if you do that before you put the backpack on, it's a lot easier to finish because once you have the backpack on here, you can't really get any clearance to get that switch out or flip that switch down. And then, of course, we'll also flip up the spikes on the side of his head, just like that. Now, for the backpack, you'll see that there is there's kind of a track here, right above this metal pin and right above this metal pin. The backpack will actually just slide right into those grooves. And we'll just go ahead and slide it right on there. It doesn't click in, it just kind of just sits there. And then what we'll do is we'll take this piece and we'll fold that, click that in, fold this down, click it in. And there we have Optimus transformed into his super mode. I have to admit, out of all the Optimus super modes that I have, this one is probably my favorite because it's definitely not something you'd really want to mess with. But what I especially love is there's still more. We've still got some more to cover because now I'm going to show you how to set Optimus up into his weapons mode for super mode. So we've got him all hooked up and ready to go. What we're going to do now is we're going to bring his arms forward just a little bit, and we're going to bring these cannons back down, and then we'll rotate them underneath his arms. Now, they don't click in, which I really wish they did because I think that'd be kind of cool. But we'll go ahead and get that all set up just like that. And then we'll bring the other one down just like that. And unfortunately, since they don't actually click in, they don't really hold on to anything, which kind of bums me out because I really wish they had. But then we can have Optimus with his super cannons ready to go. And then just like with his vehicle mode and his artillery mode, you can insert the Cyber Planet key and activate the rocket launchers and activate the proton cannon. But anyway, guys, so there we go. That is the 2005 Transformers Cybertron Optimus Prime with his vehicle mode, his truck mode, his jet mode, his artillery mode, and his super mode. I'm out of breath with that one. All right, if you guys have any other ideas for any other Transformers you'd like me to try and do, feel free to comment below. Even hit that like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and I will do what I can to help you out in the future. And until then, see you later.